What's up, everyone? Dr. Grant Bishop here, Change the Game Golf Performance. So, want to go over today low back pain and how it relates to golf, and more specifically, how a lot of golfers, a lot of golfers end up having back pain during their career, and a lot end up having surgery. And I'm going to talk about what do you need to look for, what do you need to look out for, and what are some things that you can do. So, here we're going to talk about what's the biggest reason why. Right? What is the biggest reason why people have low back pain as golfers? The biggest reason why is because of hip internal rotation deficits. What does that mean? They're tight through their hips. They don't rotate very well through their hips. Very, very common to not be able to rotate well through their hips. A lot of people will say, I can't turn. I can't get through to my lead hip. I can't get into my backswing. Like, I can't get a full turn. And a lot of the times they'll hang back in their swing. They'll early extend in their swing. They won't let it compress the ball very well in their swing or get enough lag in their swing and not be able to get through to their lead side. So, very common. Big reason why? Lack of strength and mobility elsewhere in their body. So, just because you're having back issues, it does not mean that, the issues aren't coming from somewhere else. Often, what I find, people have shoulder issues that are contributing to their back issues. People have neck issues that can contribute to their back issues. Let me show you what I mean. So, if I can't see the ball, by that I mean in my swing, I don't have enough neck rotation for when I get to here. What happens is that little extra lean back to be able to see the ball. When that happens, you run into problems. The back specifically. Shoulder. What happens to the shoulder? We can't. So if I'm a downswing, if I can't shout my arm, I'll let it get it. So those are all big things of how other areas are going to influence what the back experiences in your swing. So true low back injuries, though. So say you've had surgery for a disc, a discectomy, or you've had a fusion because you've had different kinds of things going on. You might have stenosis, you might have arthritis, disc disease, all these different things. I'll tell you what's the most common. Soft tissue stuff. Yes, you might have disc stuff on your imaging. Most people are going to have disc related stuff on their imaging. Most people over the age of 40 are going to have trouble on their imaging, on their MRIs, on their x rays that show problems. This does not mean that's causing your pain. Let me say it again. That stuff that you see on the imaging, it might not be causing your pain. Keep that in mind because studies have shown over and over again that you don't have a correlation between what shows on the imaging and what actually the way a person presents, if you will, their pain, what kind of pain they're actually in or not in. Often people that have stuff on their imaging don't have any pain at all. And sometimes people that don't have things on their imaging do have pain. So, looking for the structural reason for why something's wrong may not be the solution that you're looking for. Often, what I find is that people have issues with the hips. People have issues with the low back being super, super tense as a result of poor rotation elsewhere and the back taking the stress of it all. But if you've had surgery, if you've had a laminectomy, if you've had a discectomy, if you've had any of those kinds of major surgeries, what can you do about it? What's the rehab process look like for you? Well, if you've had those surgeries, and you're a couple months out, I mean, there's standard protocols that surgeons give you to go through. If you've had a fusion, it's a little bit more precautions with that. If you've had a discectomy, it's pretty quick. It's not a terrible surgery if you had to pick one. Laminectomy, similar. But the thing is whatever you have had done, you need to understand that it's likely there's something else going on. The hips, the shoulders, the mid back. And the low back is where you were feeling the pain as a result of other places not moving very well. Keep that in mind because you can make a lot of progress to get back to golf, to get back to enjoying golf and playing good golf, having confidence, playing without restriction, playing without limitation. But you need to be able to know what it is that you need to work on, what it is that you're having trouble with. Because if you don't know, you're guessing. And if you're guessing, you're not gonna play with confidence. If I had to guess every time I took a shot, I'm not confident, and you don't want to play that way. So let's talk about this little thing right here that I find really interesting. For professional golfers, they experience on average about 7,500 newtons of compression force on the spine during the downswing. That's about 8 times body weight, y'all. 8 times. That's incredible. That's the equivalent of like a football offensive or defensive lineman going up into one of those blocking sleds every single swing. You take a couple hundred swings each day, practicing. Long-term effects of that, you might have started when you were 10 years old. Now you're 25 and you're having issues, or you might be 35, or you might be 55, 75. You need to understand that golf is more violent than you probably have thought in the past. Maybe you do think it is violent, because if you were to look at this, when you get that X factor, when you get that extra stretch through the spine, that puts a lot of force torsionally or rotationally on the discs. They don't like that. If you're not moving well through the hips, if you're not moving well through the spine, the middle back, and the shoulders, this will take more stress. We don't want that. And the downswing, when you're shallowing, when you're coming through into impact, when you're dropping the club into the slot, when you're creating that lag, all those different things. That flexion force, which is bringing the shoulder closer to the hips, side bend, right? So that also is causing a stress on the disc that it does not like if you don't move very well. So, what's something that you can do? Well, if you take a look at this right here, I'm showing you something here in this video, working the gluteus medius muscle, which is a very common one to have issues. So I'm taking my thumb, I'm working that muscle with movement to try to get it to be inhibited so that my back feels a little bit better. Now, this is something very simple to do. Check out our channel for more of this. But in the meantime, what should you focus on? You need to be able to move well. You need to be able to, well, if you've had surgery, you need to have a plan. If you haven't had surgery, you still need to have a plan. And that plan of attack needs to focus on your mobility, your strength, your power, and then putting it together in your swing. You need to have commitment, accountability to get those results that you're looking for. So the plan of attack that we would have is first assessing where you're at, and that'll give us all the information that we need to get you better. Really, for a lot of people that are in back pain, getting them better in 5 or 6 sessions, and then like a few more after that to make sure it doesn't come back, kind of thing. And often, so many times, over and over again, it happens. People get better. That have had surgery, have not had surgery. The thing that you need to understand is that you need to commit to a plan. And you need to commit to a plan that works for you and what you're able to do. And that'll get you the results that you're looking for. That'll have you playing golf without pain in your back and playing pain-free with confidence. And that's really what, we're all after, playing for a long time and enjoying the game. If you like this content, let me know. If you want to hear more about, different kinds of injuries or different kind of golf-related topics like this, let me know. Do it. In the meantime, I'd appreciate you to give us a thumbs up or subscribe or share this video with your friends and family that golf or have back issues, if you will. But until next time, let's change the game.